The Bible, revered as a source of divine wisdom and guidance, also contains mysteries that have puzzled scholars and believers alike. Beyond the familiar angels and demons, there are creatures so enigmatic, they defy easy explanation. Are they symbolic, literal, or something more? Today, we dive deep into 10 of the most mysterious creatures in the Bible, creatures that challenge our understanding of the divine and the unknown. We begin with the Seraphim, mentioned in Isaiah 6, where the prophet sees them in a vision of God's throne room. These beings are depicted with 6 wings, 2 covering their faces, 2 covering their feet, and 2 for flying. But what makes them truly mysterious is their association with fire. Their name means burning ones. Some scholars interpret this as a symbol of their purity, their fiery love for God, or their role as divine agents of purification. Others see them as guardians of God's holiness, their wings covering their faces to shield themselves from the overwhelming glory of the Almighty. Could the Seraphim represent a higher order of celestial beings, closer to the divine essence than any other? Through the ages, the Seraphim have been portrayed in various ways, sometimes as beautiful, angelic beings, other times as terrifying figures of divine power. Their role in the hierarchy of heaven, their connection to fire, and their continuous praise of God add layers to their mystery. Could they be intermediaries between God and humanity, or do they serve a more esoteric purpose? Leviathan is not just a creature, it's a force of nature. Mentioned in Job, Psalms, and Isaiah, Leviathan is described as a fearsome sea monster, a dragon-like creature that embodies chaos. In ancient Near Eastern mythology, sea monsters often represented the primordial chaos that existed before creation, and Leviathan is no exception. But is Leviathan merely a metaphor for chaos, or could it have been a real creature that once roamed the oceans? Some suggest it might have been a large marine animal, perhaps a crocodile or a now extinct species. Others see it as a symbol of evil that God will eventually conquer, a precursor to the final victory over chaos at the end of times. Leviathan's story doesn't end with the Old Testament. In Christian eschatology, it is often associated with Satan or the forces of evil that God will defeat in the end times. This creature, therefore, becomes a symbol of the ultimate triumph of good over evil, order over chaos. Its terrifying presence in the Bible reminds us of the uncontrollable forces that only the divine can tame. In contrast to the sea-dwelling Leviathan, Behemoth is the ruler of the land. Described in the book of Job, Behemoth is a powerful creature with bones like bronze and limbs like iron bars. Its size and strength are unmatched, making it the epitome of brute force. Some believe Behemoth could have been a hippopotamus or an elephant, given its description. However, the grandeur and almost mythical strength attributed to Behemoth suggests it may be more than just an animal. Like Leviathan, Behemoth might symbolize an untamable aspect of God's creation, something that exists beyond human control. Behemoth represents the raw power of God's creation, a reminder of humanity's smallness in the face of the divine. In some Jewish and Christian traditions, Behemoth and Leviathan are seen as 2 primeval monsters that will battle at the end of days, their defeats symbolizing the ultimate victory of God over chaos and evil. This duality of land and sea, of Behemoth and Leviathan, captures the full spectrum of untamed power in the natural world. The Nephilim are among the most enigmatic beings in the Bible. In Genesis 6 verses 1-4, they are described as the offspring of the sons of God and the daughters of men. These giants, mighty men of old, were on the earth in the days before the flood and have sparked countless theories. Who are these sons of God? Some believe they were fallen angels who took human wives, while others suggest they were the descendants of Seth, intermingling with the descendants of Cain. The Nephilim are often seen as the reason for the flood, their great wickedness and corruption prompting God to cleanse the earth. The Nephilim have left a lasting legacy, inspiring myths of giants in many cultures. Their mysterious origins and sudden disappearance after the flood add to their intrigue. Could they have been a hybrid race, a literal union of divine and human, or are they a symbol of the dangers of crossing boundaries set by God? The mystery of the Nephilim continues to captivate imaginations, leaving us with more questions than answers. When we we think of cherubim, the image of chubby, winged babies might come to mind. But the biblical cherubim are far from innocent. These beings are described as having multiple faces, of a lion, an ox, a man, and an eagle, and are often depicted as guardians of sacred spaces. The first mention of cherubim is in Genesis, where they are stationed at the entrance to the Garden of Eden, wielding flaming swords to prevent humans from re-entering after the fall. Their fearsome appearance and role as protectors suggest they are more than just angels, they are powerful symbols of divine authority and judgment. The cherubim reappear in the descriptions of the Ark of the Covenant, where they are depicted as part of the mercy seat, symbolizing God's throne on earth. In Ezekiel's visions, they are seen accompanying the divine chariot, their faces representing different aspects of creation. The cherubim, therefore, serve as a bridge between heaven and earth, embodying the power and mystery of the divine presence. In the book of Revelation, we encounter the 4 living creatures, each with 6 wings and covered in eyes. They are positioned around God's throne, constantly praising Him, declaring, "Holy, holy, holy, Lord God Almighty." These creatures resemble the cherubim of Ezekiel's visions but are distinct in their apocalyptic context. Each creature represents a different aspect of creation. The lion symbolizes strength, the ox represents service, the man denotes intelligence, and the eagle signifies swiftness. Together, they reflect the fullness of God's creation and His omnipresence. The 4 living creatures serve as both guardians and worshippers, their ceaseless praise highlighting the central theme of Revelation, the sovereignty of God over all creation. Their many eyes suggest an all-seeing nature, a reminder that nothing escapes the divine gaze. As symbols, they have been interpreted in various ways, from representations of the 4 Gospels to the 4 elements of the natural world. Their presence in the apocalyptic vision underscores the profound mystery of God's relationship with His creation. Azazel is a figure that appears in the Day of Atonement ritual described in Leviticus 16. On this day, 2 goats were chosen, one to be sacrificed to God, and the other, the scapegoat, to be sent into the wilderness for Azazel. But who or what is Azazel? Some interpretations suggest Azazel is a demonic entity, a fallen angel who dwells in the desolate wilderness. Others see Azazel as a symbolic representation of evil or sin, which the scapegoat carries away from the community. The ritual of the scapegoat, with its mysterious connection to Azazel, has been a source of fascination and speculation for centuries. Azazel's name appears in other ancient texts, including the Book of Enoch, where he is portrayed as a leader of fallen angels who taught humanity forbidden knowledge. This connection to dark, forbidden practices adds to the aura of mystery surrounding Azazel. Whether seen as a literal being or a symbol of all that is cast out from the sacred community, Azazel embodies the concept of separation from God, a theme that resonates throughout the Bible. The Watchers are a group of angelic beings mentioned briefly in the book of Daniel and more extensively in the book of Enoch. They were tasked with observing humanity, but some of them fell from their divine beauties, leading to catastrophic consequences. The Watchers' story is one of temptation and fall, as they took human wives and fathered the Nephilim. Their disobedience led to their punishment, and they are often associated with the dissemination of forbidden knowledge, teaching humans about weapons, magic, and other secrets that were not meant to be known. The concept of the Watchers has fascinated theologians and scholars for centuries, as they represent the fine line between divine authority and human autonomy. Their fall serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of overstepping boundaries set by God. The Watchers, with their dual role as both guardians and transgressors, add a complex layer to the understanding of angelic beings in the Bible. In the book of Ezekiel, we are introduced to one of the most surreal and mysterious visions in the Bible, the Ophanim, or wheels within wheels. These living wheels are covered in eyes and move in perfect coordination with the cherubim, forming part of the divine chariot that carries the presence of God. The Ophanim challenge our understanding of what an angelic being can be. Unlike other angels, they are not humanoid but mechanical and almost alien in appearance. Their eyes suggest omniscience, their movement reflects divine order, and their presence alongside the cherubim signifies a deeper, more intricate aspect of the heavenly host. The Ophanim have been interpreted in various ways, from symbols of God's omnipresence and omnipotence to representations of the celestial spheres that govern the cosmos. Their unique form and function make them one of the most intriguing and otherworldly beings in the Bible, reminding us that the divine realm operates on a level far beyond human comprehension. Our final creatures come from the apocalyptic visions of Revelation. Here, we encounter terrifying beasts, a seven-headed creature that rises from the sea, a dragon that wages war against the heavens, and other monstrous beings that symbolize the forces of evil in the final battle between good and evil. These beasts are rich in symbolism, representing empires, kings, and spiritual adversaries that oppose God's plan. The dragon, often identified with Satan, is depicted as the ultimate enemy of God, leading the rebellion against divine authority. The seven-headed beast is linked to political power and persecution, a symbol of the corrupt systems that will face judgment. The beasts of Revelation are not just terrifying images, they are prophetic symbols of the struggle between good and evil that culminates in the final victory of Christ. Their defeat marks the end of the old order and the beginning of a new creation, where God's kingdom is fully realized. These creatures, with their grotesque and fearsome forms, serve as reminders of the ultimate triumph of good over evil and the fulfillment of God's plan. The Bible is a wellspring of mysteries, and the creatures we've explored today are just a few of the many enigmatic beings that populate its pages. Whether literal beings or symbolic representations, these creatures challenge us to look deeper into the text and consider the vastness of the divine mystery. They remind us that the Bible is not just a book of laws and stories, but a profound exploration of the unknown, the divine, and the ultimate destiny of creation.